And I'm so happy to have my next guest return to the show. The topic is, not an easy one, but she is someone who can cover it very thoughtfully. She is Courtney Godfrey. She is a reporter on Fox 9, pretty hard-hitting reporter, and she is also an amputee living with a prosthetic leg. Courtney, thanks for coming back on the show today. Really great to have you.
Oh, Roshini, I love to join you. You're a joy to listen to, and I'm always honored when you ask me to be on your show.
Oh, thank you so much. Well, here's the thing. I was stunned last week when I follow you on Instagram and you referenced some vile comments you received on Instagram. Now, I didn't go bother trying to look them up. You did send me them as I prepared to chat with you, but I did comment on there and just tried to give you some love, which a lot of people did, it looked like. But can you just give us a brief, we don't want to give these bad apples too much attention, but just to give it context before we kind of get into why we wanted to chat today.
Yeah, I did a story. It was a regular daily turn story, as we call it in the business, just about some street racing, drag racing slideshows that have been happening downtown a lot over the summer and even into fall. And some of these individuals that are part of this drag racing group didn't like the story I did because, it pointed out some of the arrests and stuff and so they didn't like the story. And so one of the head guys told them to come after me on Instagram, and my cell phone number even got out there. And so they were blowing up my cell phone and text messages. And the comments, some of them were just really vile, making fun of my disability. And I should preface, I don't even like that word disability, but in this context, that's what they were going after. And yeah, it was really disappointing to know that these are members of our Twin Cities communities, not bots, not trolls, that thought it was okay to say these things.
Right. And you've taught me the term physical differences, which is what I like to use. We're not even trying to be politically correct, but the fact is disability it has a negative connotation, and there's nothing weak or less than about you. So I love that term, physical differences or different abilities, really. Okay, so that's the setting, but you don't want other people to feel some of that bullying and victimization that you got. Frankly, you're really tough. You can take it, but words do hurt. They still hurt. What is your kind of message to people out there when we see people who are different from us? And, you're a public person, you're on Fox 9 almost daily, and people feel that they know you even when they may not, and they feel that they can make comments about your appearance.
At the end of the day, we're all humans. We all have a heart, we all have a family. And I think that sometimes we just need to remember that, whether it's, our physical differences, our political differences, we are all of the same human race. And if we could just show one another a little bit of grace, how far would that go? I am a TV reporter, so it does come with the territory a little bit. So it doesn't sting as bad for me because I know that it's you open yourself up to it when you're on TV. However, I don't want to discount the fact that these comments they're not okay. And at the end of the day, I'm a mother, I'm a wife, I'm a caring member of this community, an advocate for individuals in the amputee community. So I think that a little bit of grace goes a long way, and I think people need to remember that. I mean, these were vile comments, Roshini, that one of the comments said, "Who would impregnate an amputee? They must be sick in the head."
I read that and I could not believe that someone could take the time to type that out and feel it's okay to publicly post that on Instagram. So, parents out there, because some of those texts were coming from young people, parents out there, check your kids' social media feeds because they're putting some of this stuff out there. It's adults, it's young people, and it's just vile. And so I really wanted to spend time with you today. Courtney Godfrey is our winning moment on today's show because she is not speaking to get sympathy from or pity from you. She is speaking to empower others out there who are living with different physical differences and abilities who don't have the public platform that she does, who maybe aren't as vivacious and lovely and graceful as Courtney is, but she is fighting for you and for all of us. So I thank you for being very real with us today. What's someone's recourse, Courtney, though, if they do face some of this bullying? What have you found in your reporting and your own personal experience? How can others empower themselves with either the courts or the police?
Yeah, well, I mean, it is electronic harassment, and that is illegal. So if you are up for that, you can pursue that avenue. Like you said, some of these people were adults, but some of them were high school students. And at least one of them, I was able to identify what high school they're at. And I contacted their principal, because if I was that kid's mother, I would not want them. I would be horrified to know that they were posting something like this, but I would also be worried that they were hanging out with a group like this. And, these aren't car enthusiasts. So, yeah, I think what's really important to also say is I heard from a few moms, sisters of people with physical differences who said, wow, this breaks my heart because I worry that this is going to be my daughter when she gets older. And that's what really worried me, is seeing that some of these people commenting were high school students. What if they're saying those things or online bullying to one of their classmates who looks different? That's what really concerned me. And I know for parents it's so hard, because these kids will use fake Instagram accounts. They give their parents the one that they post all the nice stuff on, and then they have these like ghost accounts where, so I know it's hard for parents to truly monitor, but I think having conversations with your kids about the fact that there are people out there who look different, but they are no less than you, is really important. And when you see someone on the street that's in a wheelchair, or you see someone with a prosthetic leg, and your kid, younger kids, when they ask, because they will, have that conversation with them and explain to them, yeah, they're in a wheelchair. They're just going to the store just like us. You like to go to the store, right? So normalize it for them.
Yeah, and Devin pointed out that your sound bite, part of your sound from our conversation earlier this year, was so powerful to us that my program director and I, and Devin, we put it in the show open. And it's, you say, it was an accident, a boating accident that took part of your leg. It's a season, not a sentence. You have gone on to live probably an even fuller life. You became a mother, your husband and you are going strong, you're an advocate for others. So it's really also about visualizing some of these challenges in the most productive way possible.
Yeah, and I hear from a lot of mothers of young girls who say, it's so great to see you living such a normal life and being productive and having a kid, because it gives me hope that my daughter will be no different than anybody else. And they won't, as long as they know that in their heart. And I said that in my Instagram post, right? I said, the vile comments that were made on my Instagram post this week, I'm okay because I know in my heart the truth. And I know that my leg doesn't make me ugly. They called me a peg leg. I know that these things aren't true because I have truth in my heart. But for young people, it can be tough. And I can't imagine. I didn't grow up like this. I became this 3 years ago as an adult. So I can't imagine. All I can do is just keep putting out positivity and support parents that reach out to me who want help with how to address this, and hope that we can all just have a little bit of grace in our hearts and realize that we are all the same, even if we may look different.
Right. Well, you are a powerful role model to not only people who might have a prosthetic and others with different physical abilities, but to all of us because of how you choose to take all of this on and be empowered. All right. Here's a really interesting text question from a listener. Was the viral Instagram message flagged by Instagram?
Oh, that's a good question. I kind of panicked and blocked all of them immediately. And going back and looking at their accounts, a lot of these accounts then deleted all their posts and all of a sudden had no followers and followed no one. So they kind of abandoned their accounts. But I know that I had friends who turned in those accounts for me. And yeah, I don't know whatever happened. Again, these people, I think, kind of abandoned these accounts once they were getting called out by me, and maybe were worried about some kind of legal follow-up.
Right,
so,
as they should be.
Yeah.
As they should be. The other thing too is someone who's a lover.
To that commenter's point, I do worry that a lot of these comments are out there, and you flag them, and some 22-year-old in the Instagram office in San Francisco, they might see it, they might not. Does it get flagged? Does it get deleted? And does it happen in a timely manner? That's why I just block, because I'm not going to sit around and wait for Instagram.
Yes. You can control your own account. And, both Courtney and I are lovers of the First Amendment and the Constitution. There is also a problem in my mind of Instagram, Twitter, Facebook trying to censor. So, let's not put them in a position of having to censor and take down your comments. Let's first ask ourselves, should we be posting these kind of vile comments? That's really where it is for me. This person says, Roshini, I've always said we are all one accident, one stroke, or one illness away from having a physical or mental difference.
Yes.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. That's why Courtney's point about grace.
So quickly.
It did. And you are just a living model of taking it head on. You went through the therapy. You went through the pain. It's not easy every day. I've been around you even in social settings where, you do have to take a couple additional steps, but you're allowing yourself to live life.
Yeah, it's important.
All right. Well, here's someone who says, Roshini, listening to your guest, I wanted to share this. My little granddaughters love this book based on a true relationship between a young double amputee and her service dog. Rescue and Jessica, a life-changing friendship. Well, that's
yes,
very sweet.
A great book. It's a fantastic book. It's written by a Boston Marathon bomb survivor and her partner. And I think that, I don't know if they're husband and wife, but I think both of them maybe lost limbs in the Boston Marathon bombing. Don't quote me on that, but
wow.
Yeah, it's a great kids book. I actually have yet to buy it. My son's only one, so it's a little advanced for him.
A little
time.
Yeah,
I plan to buy it. But that's a great book to read to your kids. There's so many books out there. I bought one for my son after everything going on in this country and in the Twin Cities. And it's called 10 Little Fingers, 10 Little Toes. And it's a very simple book. It's great for kids under the age of 2. But the whole premise of the book, and it's a board book, is we all have, no matter where we are in the world, no matter where we were born, no matter what we look like, we all have 10 little fingers and 10 little toes. Unless you're me, then you have 5 toes.
Oh, you're the best, Courtney. I could just talk with you forever. We do have to go to break. I want to say thank you so much for coming on. We will have this conversation, if you want to revisit it, on my show page on WCCORadio.com site. You can also go to the radio.com app and use the rewind feature and re-listen. Thank you so much, Courtney, and we will have you back very soon. Good luck as you continue to advocate as well as report the news.
Always a pleasure, Roshini.